The news business can be a meat grinder. As somebody who exercises my First Amendment right to the free press each and every day, sometimes 13 or 14 hours a day, I'll be the first to admit it is exhausting. But how crucial is it? If you want to be an informed taxpayer, an informed citizen, it's very crucial, especially when you go from the national news to the state news down to the local news. And what's happening to local news? The changing media environments, that's the question that the Springfield Citizens Club is going to be discussing at their upcoming Citizens Club event, May 26th. And to talk more about this is joining us right now, Randy Eccles. He is with NPR Illinois. Randy, thanks for taking time. Let's go ahead and queue you up and get you on the air here with Springfield's Morning News. So I guess let's get right into it. What is happening with local media? Good morning.
Good morning, Greg. Well, as you just stated, and you've been helping make sure happens all morning, we have to try to keep the citizenry informed, and you're talking about what's going on at the State House. But it's getting harder and harder for news media to be able to do it. If you've looked at the SJR or other things, you've seen them decreasing in size, decreasing in reporters, and really the business model is broken. Digital disruption has made it very difficult to fund journalism, and it's expensive.
So tell us about the panel that you're going to put together for next week, and this will be at the Hoagland Center for the Arts. Again, it opens up 7:30. I believe you guys are going to start talking about 8 o'clock, so they can come early, get some coffee, and have some conversation, and then you guys are going to get right on into it. Who is on this panel to talk about what's happening to local news?
Yeah, we've got a great group of folks. Fletcher Farrar from Illinois Times, Jason Pisha, who is the director of the Public Affairs Reporting Program at UIS, and Michael Truitt, who's the news director at News Channel 20.
How do you see the entire situation being resolved? Can it be resolved? What are your thoughts?
I wish it could be resolved. There's a lot of things going on in this area. There's been discussions of what the right business model is, a lot of experimentation with things like nonprofit models, which we have some experience in at NPR Illinois, but there's also a governor's local news task force that's been formed in the state, and Jason Pisha is on that along with me and several other folks, and the discussion is just starting. How is it that we're going to keep people informed and help keep our government officials accountable?
We have some coverage of local things here in central Illinois, but, say there's a lot of focus on what's going on in Springfield, for instance, and then not necessarily as much focus on what's going on at Sangamon County government. But is there any avenue for covering some of the smaller villages, municipalities, unincorporated things? Because listen, those are all taxpayer funded entities as well. Are taxpayers just out of luck when it comes to having somebody dedicated to focusing on how their governments are operating in their own backyard?
It's been real challenging. They talk about areas outside of like Springfield as news deserts because there aren't enough reporters anymore to go out and report on those areas. The digital changes have made it more democratic. Anybody can get on and report on their community, but the problem there is it's not necessarily edited, and so misinformation can get out there. Not everybody's been trained in multi-sourcing and confirming things like you, and so it is a big challenge of how are we going to make sure we continue to get people good information, and not just in the capital, but in Riverton and everywhere else around.
No question. We're talking with Randy Eccles from NPR Illinois. I guess a competitor to WMAY, but this is such an important issue, Randy. The idea of getting people informed and making sure that residents and taxpayers know what's happening. We get lots of, the corporate media on the national scale and all the talking heads about what's going on in Congress and the politics of Congress and all the blogs that there are there. The state, we get a lot of, coverage from the Chicago Tribune, the Sun Times, Illinois radio networks out there. NPR's out there, but it really is that local level where there can be a lot more done, and that's something you guys are going to be delving into with the Citizens Club next week. Give us those details on the who, what, when, and what's going on there at the Hoagland Center for the Arts.
Again, yes, it's next Friday. 7:30 starts off with a reception and coffee. You can talk to folks. The actual panel starts from 8. It ends promptly at 9, so people can get to work. But again, it's myself along with Fletcher Farrar, Jason Pisha, and Michael Truitt. We'll be discussing what is the possible solution for this stuff. And everybody's welcome. So if you're curious or interested, please come on out to Hoagland. There's no charge.
Greatly appreciate your time, Randy Eccles with NPR Illinois. And we may talk again soon on this issue. We'll see what kind of resolutions we can see advance to have a diverse amount of different perspectives and all of the other ins and outs that there are when it comes to covering important happenings within taxpayer-funded governments. Randy, thank you so much. Take care, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Thanks, Greg. Have a great morning.
You too. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.